All right, hey everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Support. I want to say thank you for joining us here today. Hope everybody had a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving. I'm actually up in Pennsylvania right now. We spent the week with some in-laws, so I'm actually up in Pennsylvania hanging out, and that's why I don't have the same background that I normally have, and I'm not just a floating head over the screen today. I'm actually up in Pennsylvania at my in-laws' house. So I hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving. Mine was not bad. I spent the better part of it with a cold, but after we all recovered, we had a good time with the family. And now I'm actually recovering from an adventure. I went out yesterday. I went out yesterday and took my son to a trampoline park. And if you guys haven't been to a trampoline park before, I would definitely suggest going and checking them out. But take it easy. I didn't take it easy, and I am paying for it today. So definitely had a great time with my son, though. Okay, today. So what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about selling limited time mini sessions. So it's that time again during the holidays when mini sessions are really popular. Lots of people just want to get a couple of shots for their Christmas cards and things like that. And I want to show you how you can set up your website to offer limited time mini sessions. So let me go here to my dashboard here. And the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to, what I would suggest doing anyway, is I would suggest creating some graphics and uploading those into your account. So let me show you some graphics that the amazing Kayla created for me. And Kayla was actually going to do the live stream today, and she ended up getting sick at the last minute. So she had created these graphics in preparation for the live stream and then ended up getting sick at the last minute. So luckily she was able to get these over to me. But the first thing we're going to do for these mini sessions is we are going to create some graphics, or have some graphics created. And you can see them right here. These are some of that Kayla created for me. And so this is mini session 1. And we just uploaded this to a gallery. Not just a simple gallery. We haven't done anything to it yet. But here's one of the graphics. And let me just scroll over to the next. So here's the next one. And here is the next one right here. So what we're going to do first is we're going to, now that we have these uploaded and in our account, what we're going to do is we're going to actually create some self-fulfilled products for these graphics. And then we're going to build a price list, put them on a price list and put them up. But then the last thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we don't offer these longer than we want. So we're going to set this gallery up to actually expire so that these mini sessions are only available for people to purchase on a limited time basis, and they're not purchasing them after, we want the mini sessions availability to be over with. So first, let's go ahead and create those self-fulfilled products. Now what we're going to do is go up to selling and click right here on selling, and then click on self-fulfilled products right here. Now, if you guys haven't created self-fulfilled products yet, you definitely want to make sure that you've got your payment information set up. And there's actually a really good tutorial on our YouTube channel that will walk you through the process of setting up self-fulfilled products, how to get paid and all that stuff. So definitely you want to check that out before you do this. That way you've got your payment method set up. So what we're going to do is go in here, and you can see I've got a bunch of stuff here created. So what I'm going to actually do is open up my photos in another tab because I can't remember what these mini sessions were. So let me click here, and we're going to make a self-fulfilled product for each different one. So the first one is mini session option 1. This is 20 minutes of shooting time. So what I'm going to do is just pop back in this other tab, go to add products right here, and I'm just going to say mini session option 1. There we go. Mini session option 1. I'm going to give it a description. You have to put a description in there before you can save it. So I am just going to copy the title here. I probably would recommend going back to this and maybe taking any of this additional information here and placing it in the description. I'm just not going to do that right now, but I would probably do that if I was actually setting this up for my live site. Now, next what we're going to do is come down here, product currency. We're going to leave it to US dollars. The base cost, I'm going to leave that to 0. However, when you're creating other self-fulfilled products, one of the things that's important about the base cost is this is what the product costs you. So if this was a print, then the base cost is not what you're going to be selling the print for, but it's what you're going to be, what the print actually cost you. Now for category, this doesn't really matter because I am going to use the Kwik shop and we're not going to have a category view for this. So the category doesn't really matter, but you can change it here if you want. And then we're going to scroll down here to the very last section. Everything here is going to stay exactly the same. I'm not going to change any of this. The one thing I do want to change is I want to make sure that this product has no shipping. In other words, when my clients are going in and purchasing these mini sessions, I want to make sure that they don't get charged any kind of shipping fee because it's basically a service that they're purchasing and I don't want there to be a shipping fee associated with it. And guys, while I'm creating this, while I'm walking you guys through this process, if you have any questions about what I'm doing or any questions off the topic about Zenfolio, make sure to get those in the live chat so I can get those answered for you today. Even if they're off the subject, just get your questions in the chat so I can make sure you get those answered. Or just say hello and let us know where you're from. All right, so I've got this product set to have no shipping. So I'm going to click save. And then now an option that we can do to speed this up, and you guys can see I've got a lot of self-fulfilled products in here. Like this is a crazy amount. I need to clean this up a little bit. But what I can do here to speed up the process is rather than going back up here and clicking add product, I can find that one that I just created right here. And then I can go over here and click the duplicate option right here. So now basically it's going to duplicate that product. All I have to do is hit this and change this to be number 2. I know all of the settings down below are the way I want. I don't have to worry about the shipping. I don't have to worry about the base cost, the category, and all of that. I know that everything is set up the way I want. So all I have to do is click save. So I'm going to do that one more time and create that third mini session option. So I'm going to go here, click duplicate. I guess it depends on in what context you're using the word. And then we're just going to change this to 3 and 3. And now we've really quickly created those 3 different self-fulfilled product options. So now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go and we're going to create price list. Now there's a couple of different ways that you can set this up. I'm going to set this up using 3 different price lists and I'll show you why in just a second. So what I'm going to do is go to selling, click on price list right here. And then I'm going to go to add blank price list and I'm going to call this mini sessions option 1. Now the reason I'm calling it that is because I want to actually create 3 separate price lists because I want to apply a price list per photo in there to keep these separated out. So that'll make more sense in just a minute. All right, so what I'm going to do is click add products right here. And then we're going to see up here whatever lab you've been using to create your price list. What you want to do is you want to get this switched over to your lab name, and that's going to show your self-fulfilled products. Now, for this here, that was in other products, so I'm going to click there, and here are my 3 mini sessions. So I'm just going to click the first option and go to add selected product, and this is where we're actually going to set the price. So if I go back to that photo really quick, mini session option 1 is 20 minutes of shooting time, 5 images delivered, and a fully propped Christmas scene. So I'm just going to throw a price in there of $125. Let's do $75. Well, no, you know what? We'll go back to do $125. It's easier if you set high and then you discount rather than set low from the beginning. So we're going to put $125 in there as the selling price. And then from here, we want to go down to the Kwik shop option and just make sure that that is added over here. All right, and then we are going to go and we're going to hit save. Now, to speed the process up again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the duplicate option, duplicate the price list, and then basically just change the product that's added there. So here's mini session option 1. We're going to go duplicate. It's going to duplicate that price list. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change that product out to be the mini session option 2. So I also want to make sure I rename it up here. Just going to go here and delete this and rename it to mini session option 2. And then once my internet here decides to catch up with me, we're going to change this product. We're going to put in the second mini session option and change the price. Now, you could use the same self-fulfilled product if you want. There are a lot of different ways to set this up, a lot of different ways. The reason that I'm creating 3 different self-fulfilled products and then putting one on a price list is because when somebody orders this, I want a really easy way for me to look at the order and know which option they chose. You could make one single self-fulfilled product called mini session and put it on a bunch of different price lists and change the price, and you could know by the price. This way, I think, even though it's a little bit more work setting it up, I think it's a lot clearer in the end when people are making these purchases. So we're going to go right here, and we're just going to remove this and then go to add products. And this time we're going to be already set to be in our studio name. We're going to go to other products, mini session option 2. We're going to add that in here, and we're going to set this price to be for this option here. So let me see what that was. So 30 minutes of shooting time, 20 images delivered. I know I set the last one at 125, so let's set this one for 150. All right, so we're setting that for 150. We're going to add that over to the Kwik shop, and then we're just going to save this. And we're going to repeat that process one more time to have a third price list created. So mini session option 1, option 2. They each only have one product in them. We're going to duplicate this one more time. We're going to change the product out, and then we're going to go assign these to the actual photos. And then we're going to tweak the gallery around a little bit to make sure that it looks and presents itself the way that we want. So we're going to go here, change the name, option 3, and then right here we are going to get rid of this product and switch it over. So we're going to say add products, other products, mini session option 3 right here, and we will make this one 150. I think, what did I make the last one? I made the last one 150. Let's make this one 175. There we go. 175. Make sure that it's added into the Kwik shop, and then we're going to go over here and click save. And I'm going to catch up to you guys in a second. The chat, my screen is really crazy right now. Again, since I am out of town, I don't have my normal setup, and so things are just a little bit crazy right now and not what I'm used to, and that's really sad. But I'll catch up to you guys here in chat in just a second. Okay, so mini session option 1, 2, and 3. We've got one product in each of those. And so now the last kind of step of setting the back end of this up is just assigning these price lists to the photos. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to photos. We're actually going to go into our Christmas mini session section here. And then rather than assigning the price list straight to the gallery like normally what we would do, we're going to go right here and we're going to assign the price list to the actual photo. So that's mini session 1. We're going to go over here to pricing, allow ordering from my price list, and then we're going to go right here, mini session option 1, save and next. And so now we're going to the next photo. We're going to say allow ordering from my price list, mini session option 2 right here. And then you guys can't see it, but I'm hitting save and next. Let me just do browser only. 1 second here. There, now you guys can see. I'm hitting save and next right here. Save and next. And then this is the last one. So we're on the third photo. Allow ordering from my price list. Mini session option 3. Scrolling down and hitting save and next. So now when I click on each one of these photos, we should see the price list over here change. So we're on mini session 3. Mini sessions option 3 price list, option 2 right here, and then option 1 and option 1 over here. So we've got those price lists set up the way that we want. Now let's go in and let's take a look at this gallery and let's get this gallery set up the way that we want. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hover over the preview button right here and click customize, and that's going to take us into where we can actually customize this gallery and set it up how we want. So when we get in here, I am trying to figure out exactly how I want this gallery to look. So let me just zoom out a little bit here so you guys can see everything here. So actually, I'm kind of happy with this option here. What I want to do is I want to limit some of the things that show up here and change this up a little bit. So let me get this out of the way here. And the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the select photos button. I don't want people trying to select multiple photos in here. I also want to get rid of the slideshow button. There's no reason for that to be there. I don't mind the share button being there because if somebody wants to share that I'm doing mini sessions, they want to share it on their Facebook, I am all for letting people share that information. It's just good marketing for me, so I'm going to leave the share button here. But let's go up to Options, uncheck Use Default here, and then we're going to go down to Page Elements, and we're going to go right here, and we're just going to kind of simplify this a little bit. So I want to go down here to the Select Photos button, make sure that's set to hide this slideshow button, and then I'm going to leave the social media buttons here, and I'm pretty happy with the way everything else looks. Now, while I'm in this section here, one of the things I do want to do is I want to go down here to my shopping setup because I want this to use Quick Shop only. I don't want anybody going to the shopping pages. So I'm going to use Quick Shop only because I want somebody to click on the photo, see the Quick Shop option on the right-hand side, and just click and purchase that session. So we've got Quick Shop only selected here. And then from there, let's see what else is turned on here. I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to do is just go down here to the bottom and click this apply button. And so now we should see the gallery change just a little bit. The photos should still stay exactly the way that they are, but right here, that select photos button is gone and the slideshow button is gone. And so all that's up here is that share button. So now what I want is anytime somebody comes in here and they want to purchase a mini session, they click on a photo right here. That's going to open them up to the Quick Shop section. And let's check out that and see how it looks and make sure it looks the way that we want. So here's the Quick Shop section right here. Over on the right, there's mini session option 1, and they can click and add that to the cart. Or if they scroll over, this is important. If they scroll over, it's going to do exactly what I want it to do. So watch the price of the product change here. So if I click over to the right, we're at mini session option 2. And you can see right here, the product has changed to mini session option 2 as well. Same thing here. If we scroll over again, option 3. And the mini session option 3 here has changed. So they can go to the Quick Shop, they can review the sessions, and then choose whichever session that they want. But I do still want the gallery to load in that thumbnail view at first. Now, if you'll notice, one of the things that I saw there, let me go back. I wasn't paying attention until I hit the back button. But one of the things that I noticed up here is there's a lot of stuff up here showing that I don't really care to show. There's not any reason for this to be favorited. There's not any reason for clients to download this information. So I'm just going to clean this up top here a little bit. I'm going to go to Options, Quick Shop, and then right here, the icon section. I'm just going to hide that Add to Favorites. No reason to show comments. Again, the sharing, I'm definitely okay with this gallery being shared. The back button, I'm going to leave it on there. And then downloads, I don't want anybody to really download this, so I'm going to hide that. And then as far as the title and caption goes, you would probably, if you wanted to put more information in the sessions, you could put that in the title or the caption. You could set them to show. Personally, for me, I'm going to clean it up a little bit and just set all that to hide because I only want people to really read the information that I placed on the graphic. And then for the background, let's just go ahead and brighten that up a little bit and make it that white. And then we're just going to go down here to the bottom and hit apply. And now we should see a little bit of a difference here on what this looks like. So those icons up at the top went away except for the sharing. The background's a little bit brighter, and then most of this down here has been cleaned up. So I'm pretty happy with how this is. Now, I'm not going to save this as default because I don't want the rest of my galleries to look like this, just this particular one. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this to make these changes live. And then the last step that I want to do before I add this to my site menu is let's go back to our dashboard really quick. Because the whole point of this is to have these mini sessions only be available for purchase for a limited amount of time. So we're going to go to the Christmas mini sessions one more time right here. And this time we're going to go to Gallery Access. And we're going to uncheck use same as default, and we are going to set an expiration up right here. So this is the expiration tab, and let's say that we want to offer these Christmas mini sessions up until let's see, it's November 30th. Really, it's kind of late, but we can still do this. November 30th. So let's say we want to offer Christmas mini sessions up until the 15th for a limited time. So you can set that up and then scroll to the bottom and save. And then from here, if you wanted to market this out to your clients list, if you've got an email list built, you could go right here and do an invite. Select your contacts from the list. And then scroll down here and type in whatever email you wanted to say about, hey, I'm offering limited time Christmas mini sessions. Here's the link to purchase your session. They're only going to be available until November, whatever, or December 15th or whatever we set. And then you could send that invite out. If you continue to preview, it's actually going to show something like this, that first image in the gallery. And then would send that out. Now let's take a look and see what the gallery would look like to the client once the client actually goes to the gallery. So we're just going to hover over here, click this preview button, and I'm actually going to open this up in a new incognito window here so we can see exactly what this looks like to somebody visiting. So if I pull this down right here, there we go. You can see at the bottom, it actually tells them the gallery will only be available through December 5th, 2017. They can uncheck this, they can check it, they can close it, but that little pop-up pops up letting people know, hey, this gallery is only going to be available up to this point. And then they can see the options here, click on the option and purchase it right here like this, or scroll and look at the other options that are available. Now, once that date passes, that November or December 15th, this gallery is just going to turn into a private gallery, so it's not going to delete the gallery from your account. It's not going to remove the photos. It's just going to set to private so that people can't access it anymore. So guys, that's how you can set up and sell limited time mini sessions. You could definitely do this for things like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, or anything like that. Definitely great option to do those for. And you could also add these to your site menu items as well. If you wanted to put it on your website as a menu item, you could do that. You can do that as well. Now, just a second ago, guys, I opened that up in an incognito window, and there's a reason why I did that. One of the reasons why I open things up in an incognito window, and you guys will notice that I do this a lot on the live stream, is because anytime I want to test something out from a client's perspective, we need to actually look at that gallery logged out of our account. Now, I don't really want to take the time to have to log out of the account or pull up another browser. So one of the things that you can do is in Google Chrome, you can go to File, New Incognito Window, and that will give you a browser that you're actually not logged into your Zenfolio account in, and you can test things out as a true visitor. You can do it in Safari. I think it's like File, New Private Window. In Firefox, it's File, New Private Window or Session or something like that. But almost all of the modern browsers offer an incognito version or a private window or something like that. And it's really great. The other thing you can really do with a private or incognito window is if you ever notice any strange issues with your website, like if you're trying to log in or if you're trying to, move a photo and it's just not working, open up that incognito window and give it a try in there. And if it works in that incognito window, it just means that you need to clear your browser cache. So you can clear your browser cache on your main browser and everything should be working correctly. All right, guys, let me say hello to you guys in chat. And if you have any questions, definitely please feel free to get those in chat. So let me catch up with you guys here really quick. All right, so Home Phone says, happy. Hey, Home Phone, it's always good to have you hanging out with us. Are you still hanging out in Hawaii? Or are you back in the States now? I know there for a while we were getting a lot of alohas from you, but it seems lately it's just been some hellos. So I guess you're back in the States and not hanging out there on the island. Cheryl is hanging out with us today as our moderator. Big thanks to Cheryl. She's awesome, and I really appreciate the help that she gives us when she moderates. So make sure you guys show her some love there in the chat. Hey, Roxanne is always glad. It's always good to have you here hanging out with us. Greg says happy Friday Eve. Always good to have you here. Mark says sorry I'm late. Start over. Oh man, Sorry, Mark. You can definitely watch the recorded version of this, which is a really good thing that I wanted to talk about anyway. We are actually in iTunes now. So if you guys are not subscribed to us in iTunes, you can go into iTunes and look for Zenfolio video tutorials, and you should be able to subscribe to us. And I think it takes maybe about 30 to 45 minutes after I stop streaming, and you'll get an instant notification in your podcast that will give you the recorded version of this. So if you were late, if you missed something from the beginning, or if you just want to have it to go back and easily look at on your phone, you can subscribe to us on iPhones and get that instant notification of our new tutorials, as well as the recorded versions of the live stream. All right, let's see. Make sure I'm all caught up here. Home phone says, I'm watching the recorded version. Shall I just rewind? Awesome. Yes, smart. All right, awesome, guys. Glad to have you guys all here hanging out with us. All right, so if you guys don't have any questions there in the chat, what I'm going to do is take some email questions. I think I've got a backlog, and I do apologize. It was brought to my attention that not last week, but the week before last, I said that I was going to be live next Thursday, and it completely slipped my mind that it was Thanksgiving. So if you guys showed up, I do apologize for that. Hopefully nobody was waiting around too long. I did try to make sure that I posted a notification on there to let you guys know to have a happy Thanksgiving. But sorry, that kind of slipped. That kind of slipped my mind a little bit there. All right, so let's go ahead and let me grab an email question here really quick. So this question says, I recently changed my layout to one of the newer designs, but I can no longer have a soundtrack on the homepage as with the old layout. Do all layout or themes not have soundtrack options? So soundtracks in a way depend on your layout, but really what soundtracks depend on is having a slideshow. You can only have a soundtrack on a layout that has a slideshow. So let me go into my Zenfolio customized view really quick and show you how to set that up. All right, guys, so we're going to hop into customized view really quick. We're going to hover over my Zenfolio and go into customized view. And then I'm going to play around with the layouts and change some things and stuff like that and see if we can't get a layout that doesn't have a slideshow by default. So right here by default, you can see right here, if I go to background content, I've got a slideshow turned on, which if I go to set options down here, I've got the option for a soundtrack, which I personally have turned off. I know sometimes, whenever I'm going to websites and there's a soundtrack that auto plays and comes on, it tends to get on my nerves a little bit. So personally for me, I have soundtracks turned off. That's just a personal preference though. I think that there are times, and especially in galleries, when you're viewing a gallery slideshow, when the soundtrack is really, really nice. A lot of times though, I've got Spotify going on, so I kind of give my own soundtrack. But again, the soundtrack is tied to the slideshow. So my current homepage layout has a slideshow on it, and you have the option here to select a soundtrack. But let's go up here and let's just change my layout. So if I go up here to layout and I choose full screen with a photo grid, and we go down here and click apply, you're going to notice that there's not an option for soundtracks on a photo grid. Again, right here, if I click grid content, nowhere can we find a option for a soundtrack. It's not in there. That's because this is a photo grid and they don't really allow soundtracks. No, they don't allow soundtracks. Those two layouts are going to be, I think, the only layouts that have photo grids only, where you can't get a soundtrack added. Now, if you just switch down here to something like, let's just go down here to full screen with a sidebar. If you switch to something like this, and you set it up to use a static photo rather than a slideshow, you're not going to get that soundtrack option. So I'm going to background content and changing this. And let's say I just want to show a photo rather than a slideshow. Well, under set options here, you're going to see there's no option for a soundtrack. Right here, no option for a soundtrack. If I switch this over to the photo strip, which is a really cool slider, again, there's not going to be any option for a soundtrack. So it's really tied to your background content. Depending on what preset you're using and what layout you're using, there's either going to be grid content up here on the top. It's either going to say grid content, background content, or spotlight content. Now, with background content and spotlight content, those two you can switch and use slideshows with, and you'll have the option to use a soundtrack. It's only with the grid content that there won't be the option to use a soundtrack, or if you're using a static photo or a slider. So you have to be using a slideshow basically to have a soundtrack. All right, let me jump back to my dashboard really quick and grab another question there. All right, so my next question says, I am just getting started on Zenfolio and I cannot figure out how to get my newly uploaded galleries to show on my homepage. So let me read that one more time just to make sure I read that right. I'm just getting started on Zenfolio and I cannot figure out how to get my newly uploaded galleries to show on my homepage. So I run into this question actually quite a bit. Whenever you create a Zenfolio account and you're just getting started, if you've had one for a while, the important thing to remember is that anytime you upload new galleries, they're not going to auto-populate to your site menu items or to your homepage. So this over here is not directly linked to your site menu. You have to actually set this up. So if you upload new galleries, you've got to actually go in and add those to either your site menu or change whatever gallery the homepage is using if you want to swap those out. So let's see. I just uploaded that Christmas mini session gallery here. So let's say maybe for whatever reason I want to show that on my homepage. You have to go and set that up. It's not going to auto-populate. So you can go up to My Zenfolio, hover over Customize Website, and then depending on where you want to set those to show, you got a couple of different options here. So if you want it to show up in your site menu up here, you can just edit one of your site menu items. I'm not going to add any more because I've got quite a bit already. So I'm just going to kind of change this one right here. So I'm going to click this little pencil icon, change this to be purchase. Whoops, let me actually get in there. So I'm going to change this to be purchase a mini session. There we go. Link this to a group or gallery, and I'm going to come right here, go to that Christmas mini sessions, hit select, and I'm just going to click update. So now this is going to refresh, and now you're going to see that that sign up for my email list is going to change to purchase a mini session right here. So that's one way to get things to show up on your homepage. If there's a new gallery that you uploaded and you want to feature it, you have to add it as a site menu item. Or if you want it to appear in your background content as like right here, you need to change the content that you're using. So in this case, I would go up to background content and go to select content here, choose that Christmas mini sessions instead, hit select, and then we're going to go right here and update. And so now running on my homepage would be a slideshow of those mini session graphics rather than the other what was there before. Obviously, this looks terrible. I'm not recommending that you do this, but just showing you how to change out the graphics there on your homepage. All right, let me set this back to something that's makes a little bit more sense. I know once upon a time I created galleries for the homepage. I'm going to change this to a photo strip too. There we go. All right, so once this applies, I'm just going to go back to my dashboard really quick. Just waiting on my internet here to catch up. There we go. All right, so I've got this back to set up to being a slider, and I'm just going to hit back to dashboard really quick. All right. So let me grab another question really quick. Hey, if you guys have any crazy stories about your Thanksgiving holiday, you should definitely share them in the chat. I would love to hear your stories about your Thanksgiving holiday. If you went somewhere exciting or if you happen to have a road trip mishap, let us know. I'd love to hear your stories. Like I said, I took my son yesterday to a trampoline park, and I woke up this morning with a lot of regret at that trampoline park. My leg was hurting. My hip was hurting. I sound like an old man. Really, though, he had a blast. It was a lot of fun. Luckily, nothing too seriously got injured, just kind of sore. But definitely, if you got any crazy stories from over your Thanksgiving holiday, definitely share them in the chat. We would love to hear them. But let's see. Let me grab my next email question here really quick. All right. The next question says, I created a digital product price list and a print price list, but I can't seem to assign them both to a gallery. Can you show me how to do this? So the secret is that you can only have, I know when I started the stream and we were talking about mini sessions, I was setting up a price list per photo that's in a gallery. But if you want people to be able to purchase pictures on digital images and print products, all of that needs to be combined into one price list and then assign that to a gallery. So what I'm going to do really quick is just run you through my process of creating a price list and assigning it to a gallery so you can see how to actually create this with digital products, with prints and things like that, and how to actually assign it to a gallery. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go right here to selling, price list, and then we've got two different options here. We've got the add new price list and add a blank price list. I usually like to go with the blank price list. I just like being able to add everything and start from scratch versus having a bunch of stuff on there already. So this one right here, I'm just going to name this demo price list. Oops. Can't see. Okay, there we go. Demo price list. So I'm going to add some print products. I'm going to add some digital downloads. And then we're going to assign this to a gallery, and I'll show you how it works. So we're going to go add products. And first of all, let's go ahead and add the digital downloads. So I've got a single image and a full gallery download right here. Guys, if you've never created digital products before, there's a really awesome tutorial on our YouTube channel. It's called Selling Digital Products. It walks you through the process of creating these digital products. Single image, I think I do a 5-pack and then a full gallery download. I show you step by step how to create these digital products, how to add them to a price list. So definitely make sure you check that out if you've never set up digital products before, because there are some really important steps in there to make sure that you set it up correctly. All right, so we've got the full gallery download and the single image download here. Let's just go ahead and set a price on these. I'm going to say 25, and then I'm going to say for this one right here, I'm going to say, let's do 400. All right, so 400 for the full gallery, 25 for a single image download. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our print products. So notice that I'm adding it to the same price list. Again, when you assign a price list to a gallery, you can only have one price list on there. So if you want the photos inside of that gallery to be able to be purchased in both digital downloads and print form, it all needs to be together in one price list. It can't be made two separate price lists. So we're going to go to add products, and this time I'm going to switch to Impix Labs right here and just add some prints really quick. So let's do a 4x6. We'll do a 6x9, an 8x12, and a 16x24. We'll add those in there, and we'll go and we'll set the pricing really quick. So I'm going to start with the pricing formula. We're going to click pricing formula, and I'm going to set 0 in the fixed markup, but I am going to do a 300% over base price with a rounding up to the nearest dollar right here. So now we're going to go apply, and then I'm going to go through and kind of fine-tune this price list a little bit. I'm going to go through here and fine-tune this a little bit because I like to use the pricing formula as a place to start, but I find sometimes it makes some of the products too cheap, and then some of the products are a little bit too expensive. So I like to go through and kind of manually refine and just use the formula as a place to start. So what I'm going to do is go down here and say, okay, I don't want to offer all of these paper options. Maybe just Kodak Metallic. So first, let me do that. Let me just offer Kodak Metallic only. And that's a personal preference. You can offer all of them if you want. Personally, I just like the Kodak Metallic. Now we're just going to go through here and I'm going to set my selling price. So let's say for a 4x6, you can do it one of two ways. You can either set the selling price or you can set what you want your profit to be. It depends on how you like to build your price list. Personally, for me, I like to go with the selling price and then take a look at my profit. So let's say for a 4x6, I want to go $5. That's going to give me a $4 profit. Let's say a 6x9. Let's say I want to go 7. And maybe an 8x12, I want to go 25. And then for my 16x24 here, I'm going to go And what is it set at 114? On that one there, I think I'm probably going to leave that 16 by 24, maybe at 120 is what I'll set it at. Now, I'm definitely not giving you guys price recommendations. I'm just basically throwing these numbers out there. Definitely research your local market. Make sure that you're pricing yourself competitively with what local photographers and the local market is for you. All right, so we've got that there. So now you can see I've got the prints and the digital products both in a single price list. The last thing you want to do is come down here and customize your Kwik Shop. Now, Kwik Shop does automatically select 10 products from the list and put it over into the Kwik Shop price list. Personally, I like to control everything, and I want to make sure that I feature the products that I want to feature. So I'm going to add these all over there really quick. And then I'm going to put the full gallery at the top, leave the single image there, and then let's bump up this 16 by 24. So now what we're going to do is just click Save and Assign. Normally I click Save. I'm going to show you guys the Save and Assign route this time just because it's pretty cool. I don't really like this one, but it is nice and handy. And then what I would do is if that was the price list that I wanted to use for all of my client galleries, you can click on just the group right here and assign it to all of the client galleries here. And then come down here to the very bottom and click Save. And now you've got a price list with digital products and print products all saved on one price list assigned to a gallery. Now anybody can go to that gallery and purchase prints or digital downloads of the photos in that gallery. So let me just show you really quick. And guys, we are at the 20-minute mark, so if you have any questions, definitely get those in the chat. I do appreciate you guys letting me get through this backlog of email questions that I've had to go through, but would definitely love to get any questions that you guys have about your website. If you're working on something today, if you've got some plans for something that you want to do next year, and maybe you want an idea of where to get started or something to think about or whatever the case might be, now's the time to get those in the chat so I can make sure you get those answered. We've got about 15 to 20 more minutes left, and then we'll have to sign off. So make sure you get any questions that you have in the chat. Okay, so now I'm in the photos section here, and what I wanted to do is just kind of show you what that looked like on the back end or on the client side after changing all that up. So let me get down here, and we'll just go to this Jasmine gallery right here. And what we will do is we will hover over preview here, and I'll just open this in a new Incognito window, and it's going to ask me to register because visitor sign in is turned on down here. So let me drag this down, and I'm just going to let me drag it down a little bit further right in there. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to put my name, Robert, and email is optional, so I'm going to skip by the email for today. All right, so now the photos are in here, and if I click on a photo, it's going to open it up to Kwik Shop, and you're going to see that Kwik Shop list that I customized just a few minutes ago. You can see the full gallery download, the single image download, and then here are all those print options right here. And if you scroll through, you're going to see that the options are going to stay the same. All right, let me close that out, and let me hop over here really quick and check in on you guys in chat there. Man, I gotta get my head out of the way. Let me see here if I can do that. There we go. All right. Roxanne says, I used your help to set my digital images up, and thank you for that. Awesome, Roxanne. I'm glad that helped. For sure. Glad that you were able to do that and get that stuff set up. Guys, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. There are tons of video tutorials. I guess I can put myself back on here for a second. There are tons of video tutorials there. We just started a new series. So the new series is all going to be about doing your own marketing and promotions. So I'm going to show you some really cool things. The first video that came out yesterday, if you haven't watched it yet, you should check it out, because this video is going to show you how to export your price list as a CSV file, and then how to calculate to see how much of a discount you can offer your clients and still make money. So it's basically going to show you your safe margin line of how much you can offer a discount if you're going to do a sell or promotion, how big of a discount you can give before it starts cutting into your profit. So it's live on the channel now. It was published yesterday. You should definitely check it out. The series that we're doing this month is about creating your own marketing promotion. So it's going to walk you through the process of basically knowing how much you can discount your products, how to create coupons, and then how to market them and send them out to your clients and things like that, and run your own basically promotional campaign through your Zenfolio account. All right, let's see. Another question here in chat says, will the site tell you if the resolution is not good at a certain size? So, I think I'm not 100% sure what you're asking with the question, but I think I can answer it. First thing is, I personally recommend uploading full resolution versions of your photo if your internet can handle it. If it will upload it fast enough and not be a nightmare for you, I definitely recommend uploading the full resolution versions of your images. The reason I say that is because on Zenfolio, whenever you upload photos to our website, we never ever show the full version on your actual website. We create up to 9 different display images, and the reason that we do that is for a couple of different things. The first one is because those display images that we generate are what's actually used on your website to make it run faster, so that it's not this gigantic image that's taking forever to load in your client's browser. Now, the second reason that we do that is because if we were showing the full resolution files on your website, somebody could pull your website up on a gigantic, really high resolution monitor and take really nice screenshots of your image. And we don't want people to be able to do that. We want them to buy your photos, just like you want them to buy your photos. So we create these display images so that if people open these up on big monitors, it's going to pixelate when they try to stretch it out. It only will go so far before they get some pixelation. And so basically, they're going to be getting a really terrible image if they do a screenshot. And you can actually see what size these images are that are generated. So if I click here to Photos and I go here and go to Gallery Access and Photo Protection, these are the display image sizes that are used on the website. Now, when it comes to selling products like prints and digital images, that's another reason why I recommend uploading the full resolution file. That way, you can make sure that you have a big enough file that it can handle the prints and things like that. Now, there is a video tutorial that I would definitely recommend watching. What that video tutorial is, the title of it is called "Building a Better Price List by Knowing Your Aspect Ratio and Your Maximum Print Size." What that video tutorial will do is there's a CSV file that it has you can download. It will show you how to take your images and calculate the largest print size that your image file is capable of making. So definitely check out that video tutorial. It will show you how to build that price list so that you can make sure that you're not offering print sizes larger than your actual image file can create. And it's also going to show you how to build a price list based on your camera's aspect ratio that saves you a lot of time dealing with cropping headaches and things like that. Now, back to what Cheryl was saying, in the chat. If you upload photos that don't meet the resolution requirements of print products or digital image files, there's going to be one of two things that happen. So it's going to depend on what you have set up for your order approval option. So let me get to a price list really quick, and I'll show you what order approval is, where it's at, and what it does. So I'm just going to click in a price list really quick right here. And we're going to go to price list settings. It's going to be over here on the right as soon as it loads. And depending on what your order approval option is, if the photos that you've uploaded aren't big enough to meet a certain print or digital download requirement, two different things could happen, and I'll explain that in a second. So we're going to go to price list settings, and this is where you can turn order approval on or you can turn it off. Now, by default, it's turned on, and personally, I recommend having it turned on. There's a lot of great benefits to having order approval turned on, and one of them is that, let's say you're uploading low resolution files and you only want to upload larger files if they're ordered as a print. Well, if that's the case, then what you want to do is make sure that you have order approval turned on, because with order approval turned on, if the image that you've uploaded isn't large enough to actually meet that print file or digital downloads resolution requirements, your clients can actually still order that image, and then you have a chance to change it out with a higher resolution image in the background during order approval. And there's actually a video tutorial, I think, on our YouTube channel that will show you how to do that, how to swap a photo out. But if you have order approval turned on, you can upload small resolution files and actually change them out with higher resolution files once they've been ordered on the back end before you actually approve the order. Now, if you have order approval turned off, then when your clients are going through and shopping, the options that image file are not capable of creating. So let's say you have a really small image file, and on your quick shop price list, you've got a 16 by 24. Well, with order approval turned off, when your clients are viewing that image, it actually won't even show up as an option to purchase at that 16 by 24, because the system knows that that image file is not going to meet the resolution requirements. So that's why I would personally have order approval turned on, especially if you're uploading smaller, lower resolution files. All right, so hopefully that answered your question. Let me hop back here to my dashboard and just click this really quick. And catch up to you guys here in the chat. So Roxanne says, how do I set up the image sizes so I don't have to readjust and approve the crops? I heard you mention that in a previous tutorial, and I would like to have it reset. Hey Roxanne, so I think the video tutorial that Cheryl just shared with you is the one where it talks about building your price list based on your camera's native aspect ratio, which is definitely something that I recommend. I know as photographers, as clients, a lot of times we get stuck in this mentality of we have to offer 8x10s or 4x6s or 5x7s. And the truth is, I just mentioned 3 different aspect ratio sizes. So your image that you upload, if it's going to be in either one of those print sizes, something has to get cut off because it doesn't match any of those print aspect ratios. So that video tutorial is going to actually show you how to take your image file, figure out what the aspect ratio is, make the aspect ratio, that video tutorial is going to show you how to take your image file and calculate what your actual aspect ratio is coming out of your camera, and then it's going to show you a list of prints that are in that aspect ratio. And that's really what I would prefer doing, because that saves me a lot of time, because I don't have to crop images. I don't have to worry about clients cropping images, because no matter what product they order, all of my images just fit. And actually, I turn off the cropping options in my account to simplify the process for my clients. I actually turn that off, and everything just fits. So definitely check out that tutorial. Hopefully that answers your questions and helps you out with that part. All right, let's see if I can catch up here with you guys and get myself out of the way. Man, I don't like not having my green screen. Okay, so she says, thank you. That was a big help. I am new to this. Hey, Grace, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. This is exactly why we do the live stream. I love having people come in here and ask questions. We do this every Thursday. So every Thursday, if you've got questions, definitely please feel free to come back and hang out and chat with us. I'm glad you were able to come in today. And definitely check out the YouTube channel. Like I said, there are tons of tutorials in there. There's lots of playlists that will walk you through different things and stuff like that. So I think at least about 80% of what you have to try to figure out how to do in your Zenfolio account, I'm pretty sure we've got a video tutorial on it for sure. Roxanne says, it sounds like that's what she's looking for. Can Robert or Cheryl sit on my shoulder while I make the changes, please? Absolutely, Roxanne. If you want to come hang out with us in North Carolina, we would definitely love to come have you hang out with us and, give you some help. We're actually going to be at a couple of trade shows, too. I know Cheryl and I are going to be at Imaging USA in Nashville. So if you're anywhere around Nashville, we're going to be up there at Imaging USA. Come by and say hi to us. And then I'm going to be at a trade show down in Florida. Sync, I think is what it's called. I'm going to be there as well. So if you're in the Florida area, make sure to come say hi to us there at the Zenfolio booth as well. All right, guys, we've probably got about 5 more minutes left. So if you have any last minute questions, please feel free to get those in the chat. While I've got you guys on here, definitely make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I really appreciate it. And then if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to give us to subscribe so you get the live notifications and the new video tutorials. And yeah, as HomePhone was saying there, let me get myself back out of the way here. As HomePhone was saying there, yeah, if I sit on your shoulder, you might have to go visit a chiropractor, but I would definitely be happy to sit next to you or look over your shoulder and while you work on something. If you need some recommendations, just come up to North Carolina and see us sometime. Okay, so let's see. I think I've got time for one more email question really quick. So the next question I've got here says, let me see. Some of these I think I answered. So here's a really good one, really quick one. I can probably get this one in before we have to jump off of here. Is it possible to show a video on the homepage instead of a photo slideshow? Yes, you can actually do that. So you have to have the video uploaded into your Zenfolio account first. But what you can do is you can go to My Zenfolio, go to Customize Website, and then with background content, you can actually have the option of using a photo or video. So if I go to background content right here, then what we want to do is we want to click change. And up here you can do a photo or video. I don't think I have any videos, but basically you would just go and locate the video, figure out which gallery it's in, and choose the video, and that video would actually then show on your homepage rather than a photo slideshow or a photo strip or something like that. So you can definitely show a video on the homepage if you want to do that. All right, let me get back here really quick. And let's see. I'm going to take this one more question here. It says, I want to apply a price list to images in a collection, and I don't see the price list option in the toolbox. Why not? All right, guys. So in Zenfolio, there's a couple of different ways to organize your galleries or organize your images. We offer what's called groups, which acts like a folder on your computer. And then there is galleries, and that's what actually stores your photos. And then there's a thing called collections. So collections actually do not store anything but links to photos. So let me show you really quick. I think I have a collection in here. And if not, we can create one. Let's just create one really quick. So I'm going to say, I'm going to do it right here in this 2017 group. I'm just going to say new collection and call this demo collection 2. And so now you can see the collection is empty. So what I'm going to do here really quick is I'm just going to go and I'm going to add some photos from some galleries into this collection. So I'm going to hit Command and select those 2 photos, go to Photos and Add to Collection, and choose that demo collection right there. And then let me go down here to Ryan and Sarah. And what I'm going to do on the Ryan and Sarah gallery is I'm going to change this to be a password protected gallery so you can see something here. So I'm just going to say lock with password, give it a password really quick, hit save. And now I'm going to add some photos to the collection here. So go here and here, photo actions, add to collection. And then when that collection pops up, I'm going to put it there. So now let me go back to this collection and show you what I wanted to show you here. So now we've got those 4 different photos, these 2 from that gallery and this 2 from the other gallery. And you can see right off the bat here that these 2 are private or password protected and these 2 are public. That's because photos in a collection take their settings from their originating gallery. So if you want to change the price list on a photo in a collection, you actually have to go back to that photo in its original gallery to change that. So you have to actually go back into the photo to change, or the gallery to change it. So like here, if I wanted to change this to be a public photo, I can't do it inside the collection. If I click on it, I don't have the option to change the price list. I don't have the option to change the access control settings. You have to actually go back to its originating gallery and change that back there. So if I went back here and changed the gallery access to be public, now that those photos in the collection are going to be public. But again, I have to go and make those changes in the originating gallery. I cannot do it in the collection itself. All right, hey Luis, I do apologize. Unfortunately, right now, currently, all of our live streams are in English only. My Spanish is very bad, to say the least. I could probably say enough Spanish to get myself in a lot of trouble, which I don't want to do. So unfortunately, at the moment, unfortunately, it's only going to be in English. Hopefully, maybe eventually somewhere down the road, we can get a Spanish speaking person to do some live streams. I can't promise that, but it would be something I think would be really cool. Just unfortunately, at the moment, we don't offer it in Spanish at this time. And with that, guys, I do apologize. We are out of time. I do want to say thank you to everybody who came and hung out. Thanks for all the great questions. Roxanne, Grace, Luis, and let's see who else. Home Phone and Greg and Mark, and I think I got everybody. If I missed your name, sorry. But hey, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Hopefully, I'll see you guys again next week. Remember, we do this every Thursday, same time, same place. Until then, I hope you guys all have a wonderful and great weekend, and be safe. And I'll see you all next week.